So I'm Intifar Chowdhury. I am a Bangladeshi Australian. I mostly focus on political behaviour, particularly youth political behaviour in Australia, but also like in a comparative context, kind of placing Australia in comparison to different other countries. So yeah. But when it comes to young people particularly, I think there are two main reasons. The first one being that is about innovation. So if you consider young people as younger generations, then I feel like with each new generation, what we see is innovative ways of solving problems because they have quite unique issues. But with those unique issues, they have unique ways of solving those problems or addressing those issues. So particularly in the online platform. So that's one. And the second one is longevity, because I think if early on a young person is disengaged, that can have effect later on in their lives, but also in their community and as a whole to the democracy. Because as we know, political attitudes and behaviours form really early, and they seem to persist as well. So those are the two main reasons. I think what I'm trying to do here is trying to find out different ways in which young people are disengaging from the traditional elite-directed process of democracy and sort of what the reasons behind that is. We all know that young people are more sort of into the contemporary ways of engagement. We know that that's all good and nice because they're digital natives, but what is creating or causing the widening of the gulf between the policymaker and the ones they're making policies for? So I really want to figure out the generational changes that and the changes in sort of the needs, the expectations and the outcomes compared to older generations, and kind of figuring out predictors for that gulf between young people and policymakers. Aside from the general research thrill, I think my findings will be quite important for political parties, particularly the two major parties who have been experiencing a diminishing voter base as the Australian demographic is changing and younger generations are taking over as bigger voting blocks, replacing, let's say, boomers or Generation X, right? So I think political parties which are supposed to be adaptive sort of instruments of democracy really need to get in on with the times. But I think that hasn't happened, and that's why I think they have hit a bit of a crisis point. And in order to ensure their survival, I think they need to look into what the various expectations across generations are and be able to, make policies that speak to the voter base.